Hey folks, welcome back to AAA Farms. James here. As y'all can tell, it's kind of sunny, kind of hot. I think it's about 95 degrees out. It's Saturday evening right now. It's finally stopped raining long enough and dried out enough to where we can brush hog with the Kubota. So we're about to finish up something my wife started the other day. It's been about a week and a half since it's stopped raining. So share a couple of new developments on the farm with y'all. So we got the cows on this piece too. This is the piece right behind the house that's held in by a single strand of electric wire. It's about 6 acres. You can kind of tell this side has been brush hogged, this side has not. It's still got all the tall, brushy, tree stuff. That's the goal today, is to wipe all that out. But the other development is we had another little bull calf born on the farm. I'll zoom in here for y'all. So that's our new little bull calf. He belongs to Ruby, which is the red Angus cow right behind her. I think her second calf on the farm. However, this calf she is being extremely protective over. We finally got to ban this bull, so probably about a couple of days to a week he'll be a steer. But it took a while because the way we do things is we got a little area where we trap them back here, just like a little makeshift corral really. And we throw some feed out, we'll get all the cows go in there, and while they're distracted eating, we got another small section attached to it that we'll run the little calves into. And so that's what we did to get him. Finally got him yesterday. But anyway, we're gonna jump on the Kubota and start knocking out what's left of this. And when we're done, we'll see how much time we have and go from there to see what else we're gonna do today. And we'll definitely do some more stuff tomorrow. Let's get the tractor. Alright, the cows are headed out. Guess they don't want to stick around and see how this turns out. They probably think I'm about to bring them some food or something. But so far this year we're having pretty good luck with calving. I think we're up to three bulls, one heifer. That one I was able to ban. The other two bigger bulls, with the weather being what it is and the work being what it is, wasn't able to ban them in time, and they're too big for me to handle now. And my corral that I got is really makeshift, and it's not ideal for trying to handle bigger animals. So I'm gonna have to call the vet and probably bring them down and let the vet do it. Plus they're getting I think they're too big for the band anyway. So the vet have to go in there and surgically do it. But hopefully that won't cost us too much money. We make mistakes. Just gotta make sure we don't make that mistake again. Anyway, let's get the brush hog going. No gimmick here. We'll get the PTO turned on. I did grease everything before we started here, before we even started the video. Seems like everything's spinning fine. I did check those flex couplers. They do look good. They don't have any tears in them. We're going to get up to 540 PTO. First time I got the brush hog this year. I think my wife's done it with brush hogging so far. Kind of see all this stuff we're trying to get. Cool part is we did plant this field in Bahia last year, I think. And I don't know how well it's coming across the camera, but all right here is just a bunch of Bahia seed heads, and it's everywhere that you brush hog. So I'm hoping once we knock all this down, it'll give the Bahia a chance to spurt up, which would be great. Let's keep going. So while it looks like a lot of this stuff cows will eat, a lot of it they won't. Kind of what I want to show. Perfect example is this grass here. I still got to figure out what kind of grass is this, but as you can see, the green part of it, the cows are loving. They're eating. You can see where they bit off of this. But whenever it's dead and dried out like this, and this is probably stuff from last winter would be my guess, they don't want anything to do with that. So what they'll do is eat these green pieces down until they start getting a hold of the dead stuff, and then they'll just stop eating it. So when we brush hog it, we're gonna knock out all that dead stuff, scatter it out. It'll return to the soil, give whatever nutrients it has back to the soil, and it'll add to the biomass of the soil. And then when the new grass starts growing up, but this stuff grows extremely fast, but when the new stuff starts growing up, they'll be able to eat all of it versus just the very tips and ends. The other reason we also are brush hogging, I'm looking for a good example. Let's go see if we can't find something over here. Come and check us out. Might be to find a good example in this mess. Alright, here we go. So these grasses like this in here, and you can see kind of the darker green stuff all through that, the cows love. But now when they get into these weeds, they're having to search and pull and everything, trying to get it out the way so they can eat that stuff. Same thing over here. We got all these little trashy weeds, and they love this. They love these grasses here. So whenever we knock all the dead weeds down, or not dead weeds, but we knock all the weeds down, I know, when we knock all the weeds down, that's gonna allow them to be able to graze the grasses in this area better. This is probably the worst part of the pasture as far as weeds. I know. They're coming to see if I got food. But that's why we're trying to get it all knocked down, so we can let the good grasses grow up. We can give them more stuff to eat, and they'll be able to access what they want to eat. Perfect example, you can see her, she's trying to rip some of those weeds out of the way so she can get to the good grass now. So let's get back in the tractor and get some more brush hogging done. They're so disappointed that I ain't got no feed with me right now. I got a bucket of feed I might throw out to when I'm done. There you go. So y'all can see we got steer, heifer, steer, and then ruby steer that we saw earlier. I guess it's on the other side with ruby. I say that. Bull, heifer, bull, steer. Alright, let's get back to it. I thought this would be a good little comparison. So it's kind of, you can see all this here is bahia, all the shorter grass. So bahia is technically a weed that is very common really all in the south. But in my area, due to our clay soils, that's what most of our cow pastures are. It's very hard to grow Bermuda. We have to throw out a lot of nutrients, a lot of fertilizers and stuff. And I'm trying to stay away from that. I want to just spread out manure. But anyway, get on subject. So you can kind of see all this, and you got all the weeds mixed in, and then you can see a little bahia on the ground. Well, this side is what we just done. We got cutting and stuff. You can definitely see that bahia has just a whole lot more room to grow, and that stuff does grow really fast and quickly, and it will spread, and it will what's the word? Mesh or whatever. It basically get all groups together. And eventually the bahia will actually suffocate probably most of the weeds out of the field. They got a couple people in my area that have Bermuda, and talking to them, they all say just go straight bahia anyway, just because there's so much bahia. When a deer eats it, or a rabbit, or anything, and they go and they pass manure onto that Bermuda field, there's going to be a bahia seed in that, and that bahia seed's eventually going to take over the Bermuda anyway. And there's another guy I bought hay from last year that's like an hour east of us. He was closer to, I guess, like the Red River Delta and all that stuff. And he did a lot of Bermuda with some bahia, but he mostly did Bermuda. He liked Bermuda. But one thing he says, if you ever do Bermuda field, never let anybody else's hay equipment in that field, because if they cut bahia, there's going to be bahia seeds on that equipment. and before you know it, it's going to take over your commuter field. So anyway, we're going to hurry up and finish brush hogging so we can get out of these guys' hair. Let's go. Get the cows out the way. First time I really ever used a horn on this thing for anything. They would have moved either way. Goodness. That area. So when I got the tractor to show y'all while we were brush hogging, and I showed you that grass up here and then all the weeds on that hill, that's where they're at now. And you can see ever since I knocked all them weeds down, they all swarmed over there. They've been eating all the grass that was under them weeds. So it just kind of goes back while we're doing what we're doing. Allows the cows to get into the stuff that they really want to eat. So we got to keep the weeds down, and so that they can get what they want to get, and the grass can get the nutrients it can get, and it can expand, and they can do what it needs to do. We only got this little bit here left. We're almost done. Alright, y'all. We just got done. Everything looks nice and smooth. Cows been grazing throughout there, just getting everything that they couldn't get before. They all seem pretty happy. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. As you can tell, the sun's going down. Wife and kids are in the swimming pool. I think I'm going to go join with them. Tomorrow we plan on doing a couple more things. This field here is probably about an acre, acre and a half. What's left of what my wife didn't get up front. We're gonna go ahead and knock it down, because current game plan is that's gonna be the next section we fence in, is that little L section with some electric wire. Give us about 6 acres. We got 2 steers in the herd. I think it's, let's see, yeah, they're right there by each other. You'll see that orange one right there and the white one right next to it. Both of them will be going to slaughter in September. Yeah, September. So we're going to separate them from the herd. We're going to put them on that 6 acres. Put a water trough on there. We got a feed trough back here we're going to put on there. And so we'll start feeding them out to go to the butcher. They get slaughtered. So we'll make sure to bring y'all along with that and everything else. We still plan on being here at that time. The next thing we're going to do, so we're going to do that. This other little section over here that we fenced in with electric fence, it's about 2-3 acres. Probably going to go ahead and brush hog it tomorrow as well. It has a bunch of sticky stem type stuff coming up, trees and little thorn bushes, things like that. And then if we have time, there's another section over here that's about 6 acres we're going to knock out. Once we get that fenced in, that's going to be the next thing we're going to fence in. And ideally pretty soon, because when we get those 2 steers over here, we're probably not going to put the cows on this paddock anymore until they're gone. So we'll probably brush hog this field once a month or something like that, just to keep all the weeds and all that knocked out, and that should give that grass some time to grow. So when we do send in the slaughter in September, should have some pretty thick grass in here at that time, so we'll be able to let the cows in. They can mow it down then. But we definitely want to clean up that other section. We want to add a section. There's another section we're going to add on as well, so that we still have 3 sections that we can work the cows in and out of. This to give somewhat of a modified rotational grazing. Sadly, we don't have the infrastructure or the money to set up some true rotational grazing, in my opinion. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Anyway, I'm gonna go for a swim. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Y'all have a wonderful night. Talk to y'all tomorrow.